priorities are upside down and out of whack. You have self first, God last, and the other in-betweens in between. Don't make that big error of making it yourself first. Everybody, even non-Christians, recognize this. That's why the richer they get, then they start to try to give their money away. They start to give to donations, or save the rainforest, or save the whales, or save whatever they're trying to save, because they realize that living for themselves doesn't work out. It always feels like something is off. And so that's the last. So we have the first one should be God, and the last one should be yourself. And now here's the middle. The number 2 one should be your family. Most of you don't have kids yet, but your wife and kids, when you have them, and until you have them, you're a family of one, maybe, and you have your parents a little bit, unless you're like in your 20s, then kind of your parents, I guess, is your family, and that kind of thing. But really, your family should be number 2. So God is first, and then your family. In fact, that's even true for pastors. There should be no such thing as the pastor's kid who's a screw-up. That person actually should just be the screw-up of a dad who's a screw-up, because he shouldn't be a pastor any longer. The Bible clearly says this when talking to pastors. Paul writes to Timothy in 1 Timothy 3. He says, a pastor, he must be able to manage his family well and see that his children obey him and with proper respect. And if anyone doesn't know how to manage his own family, how can he take care of God's church? Like if a pastor has a kid who's out of control, if my kids are ever out of control, I'm firing myself. Because if I can't handle my family, I certainly can't handle the church. And so if this is true of the most churchy person, so the most churchy person around has to put his family first. And so it goes to say that the less churchy people have to put their family first as well. If the most churchy person, church comes under his family, then the less churchy person, certainly church comes beneath their family. And so it goes to reason then that if God is first, then our family has to come second. Ultimately, ourself is going to come last. And the third is filled up with a category of others. I'll get to that in just a moment. If your family is a priority, you have to ask yourself, do I spend enough time with them, and do I spend enough energy with them? Do I spend enough effort to prioritize them? Often the most important people get the worst of you. Do you ever notice, like, even if you're dating, the person you're the biggest jerk to is like your boyfriend or girlfriend, or sometimes the person that you dump on the most is your husband or your wife? Or like you get home and you're frustrated from work and you yell at the kids and you're grumpy and you're a jerk to people. Like, we're always mean to the people that love us the most. And it shouldn't be this way. They have a higher priority than that. Busyness oftentimes will ruin this. You'll be able to notice if family's a priority if you don't have any time for them, and if you're not consciously making time for them. And so God is first and your family is second, yourself is last, and the third category comes with other stuff. That includes church, friends, and work. Now these guys, they all sort of flip-flop. Sometimes you have to work extra hours at work. That's true. And so your friends take a lower priority, or your church takes a lower priority for a week or two. And sometimes you're moving as a church, and so you have to spend extra time moving crap at church, and so your church takes a little bit of a priority for a little while. Right after service, you're doing that moving. And so tonight, maybe church takes a little priority over, like, dude, I was going to go smoke weed. Well, relax, go move something, and then go smoke weed, right? Get the priorities right. Church first, then weed, right? That's not going to be on the internet. Don't smoke weed, it's wrong. It's illegal. Okay, so you pick the order. Your friends, your work, or your church. They're all important. And depending on what's going on, these ones can switch priority. And I think that's why the Bible is the least clear about these. If you search scriptures to try to say, like, oh, where's our friends before church, you're not going to find any. And I think that it's on purpose because they switch priority based on what is going on. But one warning, if one of these is dominating the other three all the time, so if your friends are always more important than church or work, and your friends are always more important than, everything else, then you need to fix that priority so those three are in balance. It's funny how often we get things backwards. If God has a priority for us and He says, I want to be first, and then your family, and then I'll just pick an order, church, work, friends, and self. But how does it work for us normally? Most of us, we say, I'm the number one, priority is myself, and then my friends, and then work probably, then church, and then I guess God and my family last because we're pissed off at our dad or whatever, And so everything is dead backwards for us. And I think that tonight God really wants you to say, well, are all of your priorities totally flipped upside down? No wonder your life seems backwards if your priorities are backwards. got yourself first and you got God last. You certainly don't expect that God will bless you, do you? You don't think that God is going to bless you when you're exalting yourself already. And they say, God, bless me. Oh, so you're blessing yourself. You don't need me. Get the priorities right, and then God is more likely or apt to bless you. When your priorities in life are off, your life is off. There's no way to tell you this other than to try it out. Try rearrange your priorities, and for 6 months, work it with the right priorities, and see if inside it doesn't feel more balanced. Try it. Just try it. That's all you can try to do. Look, you got to give your best to the ones who deserve your best. Does work deserve your best time and effort, or does your family deserve a better time? Does church deserve your best time and effort? Does God deserve your best time and effort? You decide. Like, ultimately, you got to put these priorities. I think the Bible gives us a guide for it. But if you want your life to stop feeling upside down and out of control and not set, then set the priorities right. And then say, God, are these priorities right? Boom, I set them down. Maybe you have to write them like I do and put them in your pocket so you don't forget. But give your best to those that deserve the best. And some of you don't. Maybe your friends are on higher lists, so give them the best of you. Put God first, and then maybe you don't have kids and a wife and stuff, and so put your friends next. That's cool. Throw in your church in there. But put yourself last. Make sure you know where you belong. And then you can say, God, won't you bless me? And God says, I will. So make sure the best get the best. Let me pray. God, we want to pray tonight. I want to pray that, I know it's not always interesting or amazing to write a list of priorities, but it's critically important. And I pray that my friends here would consider where you fall in the priority list. And how far down the line are you? I mean, are you even on the list? And if our list is out of order, would you help us to fix it? I know maybe we don't even want to. So I just pray you'd give us the encouragement and the strength to do it. And you'd show us that it's necessary and important. God, thank you for our time this evening. We pray this in your Son's name. Amen.